In the lobby, a mysterious group of people passes through security without issues. In the elevator, they put on gloves and pull out their weapons. Scott's also activates a phone jammer. They get off the elevator at floor 27, where they point their guns at receptionist Donnie. After covering his head with a bloodstained bag, they use a computer to turn off the security system. Then the group enters the office and makes everyone step away from their computers. They also make them drop their phones in a bin before sending them to the conference room. After the phone jammer is attached to the window, Leader London asks for the employees in the trade processing department. 4 people stand up including Zara, but she makes Myrtle stay down. When London asks why, Zara explains that Myrtle is new and doesn't know anything. London chooses Luke and Zara to go back to their desks and gives them a memory stick with 6 trades. Luke inserts the stick and points out that those are £4 billion in honest people's pensions, but London tells him to do the trade anyway. Since he's terrified, gun Luke ready is making the desk. Thankfully he doesn't see anything and leaves. Minutes later, Luke gets a call from the bank and London tells him to pretend that the trades are normal. However, Luke has a breakdown, so Zara takes over the call instead. She tells the banker a story about new hedge funds from the manager, and the banker promises to get the transfer done today. After the call ends, London announces that the gang is staying in the office until the money is in their accounts. In the conference room, Donnie moves the drapes and starts making hand gestures at the people in the neighboring building, asking them to call 911. Yorkshire sees him and beats him up with his gun. Then he drags him to the bathroom and restrains him next to the other wounded employee. Yorkshire asks Donnie if anybody saw him, and Donnie says no. When Yorkshire returns to the office, he tells the gang that Donnie lied. Burley goes to the window for a follow-up interview with financial investigator Darren, Ellie, and Reese. Darren asks if it's normal for the company to have $4 billion sitting in cash, so Luke explains that they were in the middle of a portfolio rebalancing, which is done every few years. When Darren points out that it's a big coincidence to be robbed on that rare day, Luke gets extremely nervous. Zara sees him through the glass door and gets nervous too, so she rushes to the bathroom to freshen up. Then Darren asks about the trade authorization, so Luke confirms that the committee Zara tells Luke to call in sick with stress tomorrow. She also tells him to transfer the money to a cold wallet using a VPN and reminds him not to call her. Meanwhile, Reese meets with his superior Nichols to ask him why it took so long for the case to get a financial investigator. Nichols claims that they needed time to find the best one. Reese also criticizes him for not pressuring the company and the custodian bank to give them the account details, so Nichols says there are more important things going on. When Reese wonders what's more important than thousands of lost pensions, Nichols walks away. Later, Darren finally receives documents from the custodian bank. The money was transferred to a private Virgin Islands bank known for being a liability. Ellie asks if takes a look at the other car and confirms it's a police vehicle. Sniper sends out Junior, who pretends to be a pizza delivery boy and rings bells until someone lets him in. Junior rushes to the garage and opens the gate for his teammates. In the meantime, Reese joins a poker game but ends up leaving earlier than usual. On his way out, he gets a call from Luke, who asks him to come to his apartment and says he can't explain why. Before heading there, Reese alerts Nichols, since he's one of the cops in the police car. Nichols sends out a guard to do a walk around. When someone knocks on his door, a terrified Luke looks through the peephole and sees Junior, so he doesn't open it. Burley claims she escaped through the window because she thought the criminals were at the door. Afterward, Reese goes to Luke's apartment and tells Ellie that Zara is obviously involved, so they should try to put her under surveillance. A flashback shows Zara and Luke drinking at the bar and complaining about all the money their bosses make while paying their employees minimum wage. Then Luke goes to the bathroom to consume some happy powder while sharing that some people he met in an online video game offered £100,000 for helping them hack a pension plan. Zara is wary, so Luke admits he's in debt, and they keep arguing until someone knocks on the door. When the duo leaves the bar, Luke asks Zara to help him again and says that if she keeps working this boring job she'll end up like her mother. Zara insults him and says she'll get a promotion. However, the next morning, Zara's request is turned down, so she tells Luke she'll consider helping him, but she wants to meet the mysterious criminals first. In the present, Reese takes the money he earned gambling to Matt, who threatens to sell his loan to sharks if Reese doesn't pay the rest of his debt in a week. Later at the office, Darren informs Reese that Luke had 7 overdrawn personal accounts with no unusual transactions, while Zara's account balance is low but clean. He thinks they should bypass the Virgin Island Bank and search for leaked offshore account details, although that information wouldn't be prosecutable. Darren explains he found this information very easily, so the Secret Service probably knew 10 minutes after the heist. At the police station, Ellie tells Reese what happened with Sam. It feels like they're pulling her away from Zara, so she thinks both Sam and Nichols are involved in this mess. Reese tells her to act cool because he'll take care of it. In the evening, Zara goes to the warehouse and waits until 2 men come out to sneak inside. She then searches the rooms until she finds the security cameras and shows off the vial, leaving it on the desk. When she's about to leave, she's found by a guard, who wants to know why she knows this address. Zara runs away and trips over some boxes before she manages to get out of the building. Soon a car starts following her, so Zara enters a crowded pub. When 2 men come after her, she leaves through the back door. She sneaks behind a car to stay hidden and starts running as fast as possible to finally lose the men. After getting on a bus, Zara calls Haley and asks her if she can visit her now, but Haley says she's at work and tells her to come tomorrow. After she hangs up, it's revealed that Haley is at home. At the station, Reese asks Nichols for the truth. Nichols takes him outside and explains that some powerful people are threatening him. He tells Reese to find an excuse to quit the case because he can't guarantee his safety, especially because of Reese's problems. Afterward, the duo walks down a busy street and discusses the possibility of a member of the investment committee also being involved in this. Reese stops at the ATM to withdraw money and Zara notices he only has £212. He asks if she can get the notes from the committee meetings, so she explains that they're on a network drive and only committee members have access. She'll try to get the passwords from the secretary. Reese gives her some cash and tells her not to use her credit card or phone. At a hotel, Zara rents a room. Before Reese leaves, she gives him the fingerprint. The next morning in a remote farmhouse, the gang watches footage of Zara dropping off the vial and London scolds Sniper for leaving evidence behind. Nichols and Sam, in a room, received information from the newspaper about the money's location. It seems Darren did secretly leak the information. Nichols sends Reese and Sam out to investigate, telling them to be careful. At the office, Zara asks Kate if she can use a committee office because her desk has bad memories, but Kate sends her to a different desk. After working for a while, Zara approaches the committee's secretary pretending she has a question. Then she acts like she has an upset stomach, so the secretary goes to get a biscuit. Zara takes the chance to access the computer and print all the information she needs. When the secretary comes back, Zara takes the biscuit and rushes to get the paper from the printer. Moments later, Sam, Darren, and Reese visit defense contractor Gould, who swears he has no idea why the robbers sent the money to his account. The guy asks for her, she tells him to come over. At that moment, Myrtle and Milo return to the office because Myrtle forgot her phone, so Zara quickly hides. Milo notices that the printer is on, but luckily Myrtle distracts him by promising naughty times, so they leave without seeing Zara. When Reese arrives, he tells Zara that the warehouse had been rented by a front company from Panama. Zara shows him the committee notes, which say that the company had all that cash because of a risk report. She thinks the numbers on that report were fake to force that decision. The report is signed by Milo, Kate, and another employee. Zara explains that the third employee left 3 months ago and Milo is an idiot, so Kate is probably behind this since she checks all the reports and should catch any weird numbers. Afterward, Reese takes Zara to the restaurant where he plays poker, even telling her about his gambling. Zara complains about the situation and claims that robbers never paid her. The next morning, Zara runs some simulations on her computer to try to find the origin of the fake risk numbers. Since it'll take a while, she goes out for lunch. Suddenly, a secret agent sits on her table and tells her that she's surrounded. One of the other agents has a syringe that could kill her in 10 minutes and make it look like a heart attack. Following the agent's instructions, Zara leaves the restaurant and gets in a cab, where a man is waiting for her with a gun. He finds the trio in his living room. At the farmhouse, he tells Sniper where to find the safe and gives him the password. While Sniper takes out the cold wallet, Milo grabs a pepper spray from the coffee table. Sniper then asks for the wallet codes, but Milo explains he hid them in the office. When Sniper comes close enough, Milo sprays his face, so Sniper brings him down and stabs him with a knife. After Milo dies, Sniper is ready to kill the others, however Luke knows where Milo's hiding spot is. Outside the company building, Reese is waiting for Darren and is shocked to see Sniper arrive with Luke and Zara, so he calls 911. At Milo's house, the gang finds the body and notices his key card is missing, so they conclude Sniper went to the office. In the company lobby, Sniper breaks the guard's neck to kill him. They go to the office and Luke opens the base of a trophy to get Milo's codes. After cleaning the phone to remove his fingerprints, he gives it to Zara. She then realizes that the robbers already had 2 people in Luke and Milo, so she wonders why they roped her into this too. Milo explains that he and Luke knew about the heist, but they didn't tell her because she wouldn't approve. The thieves asked for a third person from the lower ranks and picked Zara from all the employees' profiles Milo gave them. They never explained why, but Milo and Luke had a theory. They thought they would blame it all on Zara and kill her by making it look like self-deletion. People would believe it because she's the biggest mess in the office. She has no family and drinks on the weekends to forget her bad job. Zara is devastated by the way people see her, so she breaks a vase on her way out. Meanwhile, Ellie and Reese visit Sniper's daughter at a care home. She tells them she hasn't talked to her father in months but lets them look at the call history on her phone. The detectives investigate the number and discover it comes from a SIM card that was sold in the same area where the burned car was found. They need to investigate the license plate, so Reese will send out a bunch of fake requests to hide the real one. At the train station, Zara gets a call from Reese but she ignores it and looks at the agent's card instead. Then Reese finishes his research and finds the burned car's plate on several street cameras. Its last trip goes to a farm. At the farmhouse, Luke sees the gang leave. Sniper bursts into his room and announces they're leaving too. When Luke reaches the corridor, he's shocked to find Junior dead on the floor. Meanwhile, Sniper Reese uses the cash Zara gave him to gamble. However, after watching the reports about the scandal on TV, he regrets it and leaves. Since he can't access his police account, he calls Ellie for help, But she can't talk because Sam is watching her. Then he calls Darren and asks him to meet him at the company. In a hideout, the gang is informed they have a new job. They get ready to work but abandon Burley, who will probably not survive the night. At Milo's house, Sniper rings the bell while the others wait in the car. Luke calls Zara brilliant for her lie, so Zara explains that Milo lied to him and he got paid $20 million for real. Since nobody is home, Sniper returns to the car. When Milo finally comes home, he finds the trio in his living room. Sniper grabs the paper and gets ready to kill them anyway, so Luke quickly hits him to knock him out. Zara takes the gun while Luke grabs both wallets and tries to call the police, but the lines are down. He rushes to the main server to turn them on, only to hear the elevator. When he tries to peek, Reese knocks him out with a punch. At that moment Sniper wakes up and Zara hesitates to shoot, so he jumps on her and steals the gun. When he's about to kill her, Reese yells behind him and Sniper fires at him instead. Reese quickly hides and says the police are coming, so Sniper leaves the office to look for Luke and the wallets. Then Reese approaches Zara, who tells her Milo did it but he wasn't in charge. At the office, Zara picks up her things and learns from Myrtle that the company got all the money back. When she's about to leave she bumps into Reese, who says he finally knows who did it. He guides her to another office where they find Darren, who has been the mastermind behind this all along. He's a former finance. Reveals she hid Milo's wallet and the trophy, and the only wallets the Secret Service took are hers and Luke's. Reese and Zara leave together, ready to start a new life.